54 years ago this month, a horrible day in American history. We'll be discussing the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy on One Nation.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago. Vice President Lyndon Johnson has left the hospital in Dallas, but we do not know to where he has proceeded. Presumably, he will be taking the oath of office shortly and become the 36th President of the United States.
Hello, America. Welcome to One Nation. I'm Dr. Jake Jacobs. I'm just a patsy, Lee Harvey Oswald told the Dallas police on that horrible day in November 22nd, 1963. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was at Sacred Heart Elementary School. And being a Catholic school, we had in the front of the classroom, we had a picture of Pope Pius VI on one side, and we had a picture of the first Roman Catholic president of the United States, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. On that day of November 22nd, 1963, Sister Benedictine had made us aware that the president was shot. We were shocked. By the time I got home that day, my mother was sitting around our little black and white TV, seeing Walter Cronkite tell her and the world that the president was dead. There's a lot of memories from that time period in history, that weekend where we were glued to the television set. One of the most poignant ones was on Sunday, November 24th, when my dad called us all into the living room to see the Dallas police moving Lee Harvey Oswald. And out of the blue, as we're watching this live, we see some guy come and fire into Lee Harvey Oswald's stomach. Later on that night, we found out that he was dead and that it was a Dallas nightclub owner by the name of Jack Ruby. Another one of those pictures that sticks in my mind was at the funeral on Monday, November 25th. And the sad thing about the funeral, if you look, you can see First Lady Jackie here, along with Caroline. You can literally see the tears on her face in that horrible experiencing the funeral of their father. And then here's little John F. Kennedy Jr., JFK Jr. And as the funeral procession was going by with the coffin draped with an American flag, little John was there, and he was saluting his father. November 25th, 1963 was John's third birthday. And for me, being a little kid also, to see this little guy missing his papa like that will always be in my heart and my mind. Now, just last week, the President of the United States released almost 3,000 CIA and FBI files related to the assassination of the President. Now, since the assassination of the president, as early as the following day, there were a number of historians, researchers, conspiracy buffs that were convinced that it was more than just Lee Harvey Oswald that had killed the president of the United States. I mean, anywhere from, like I said, the CIA, FBI, KGB, LBJ, Fidel Castro, Nikita Khrushchev. There have been literally thousands of books and articles done about this particular topic. Now, I have to tell you that I'm not one of those who really buys into any of these conspiracies. I believe that if you study the evidence, there's a preponderance of evidence, whether it be ballistic, forensics, eyewitness, ear witness accounts, fingerprints, palm prints on the rifle, that to me specifically indict Lee Harvey Oswald as the sole assassin of the President of the United States. Now, by the way, those of you who are listening to me on this, it may be you differ. There's a lot of people out there who have some very strong, what appears to be credible evidence that it was a conspiracy. If you feel that way, go to Facebook, Dr. Jake Jacobs, where this is, as you're watching this. When you're done, comment on it. Let's dialogue and discuss this, and let me see what ideas you have about this. Now, actually, it's interesting to note that the film JFK came out in 1991 by the filmmaker Oliver Stone. This film won a few Oscars. And this film kind of brought a resurgence of the study of the assassination of the President of the United States. And I've used it in the classroom at the high school and at the college, local college where I've worked for many years. And I think it's a great tool. I don't buy the premise of Oliver Stone. I don't buy it was the KGB, it was the CIA, it was the FBI, it was LBJ. But I do think it's an excellent tool to actually to teach and to learn about this horrible day in November of 1963. And I think what's more important in the midst of us discussing the assassination of the president, when you think of it, think of Abraham Lincoln, the great Abraham Lincoln murdered, McKinley murdered, President Reagan almost assassinated when on March 31st, 1981, when a bullet came right next to his heart, and he survived that horrible attempt on his life. I think what's important for us as Americans to remember is that we need to pray for our presidents. We need to pray for their protection, their security, and for their wisdom in running our country. So until next week, always remember, the truth shall set you free. And don't forget to visit us on FreedomProject.com. And once again, please comment on Facebook, Dr. Jake Jacobs, about this particular issue. And let's discuss and dialogue about the assassination of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. If you thought that was cool, check out more videos on FreedomProject.com. You'll enjoy them.